right, so I have been using the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra for about a month and a half now. And I think it's time for us to have a pretty honest conversation about what this tablet is, what this tablet isn't, and whether or not you should be worried about the chip change. So I'm Jamil. This is a boy named Jamil. Welcome back to another video. Disclosure, I have no relationship with Samsung, so anything that I say in this video is just from me being a user of this tablet. I am, however, in the Samsung ecosystem, so there might be some bias, as far as that goes, but no different from, someone who makes an iPad mini video or something like that. Also, I should say this, I wouldn't describe myself as a power user or anything like that. So when talking about performance, keep that in the back of your mind. So what do I use my tablet for? I use my tablet first and foremost, more than anything, to edit photos. I'm a photographer. If you're new here, I'm a portrait photographer, street photographer, and so I use my tablet to edit photos. And it just so happens that I shoot on a high resolution camera. And so those files are huge. They're 100 megabyte files. And so they are pretty taxing on the tablet. Each photo, pretty taxing to run in Lightroom. And so that's what I use the tablet for mostly. I watch content on it, viewing, YouTube and Disney Plus to watch Penguin, because that's an excellent show. Netflix to watch Arcane. And then I do some video editing on it and Adobe Rush to be able to make short form content for Reels on my Instagram page. And then the last thing that I do is I use it as sort of a monitor when I am shooting photos with models so that they can be able to, see themselves as we are using photos. And then the last thing that I use it for every single day is for note taking and for, writing scripts and for anything that I would otherwise use paper for. So when we're talking about performance, the gamut of those things, there has been no noticeable fall off. In fact, with video editing and with photo editing, I do have to say that it is a little bit quicker, right? To render a 1 minute vertical video, I think it's taking something like 4 or 5 seconds to run it in Adobe Rush. It's really fast. It's a really fast tablet. I can't say for sure. I'm not this person. It's not my expertise. Whether or not the MediaTek chip is better than the Snapdragon, I can't say that. But what I can say definitively is that I can't tell the difference. And I think that that's really good. I honestly think that that's probably the very best outcome of this whole thing. Samsung decided to go with the MediaTek chip because Snapdragon was charging more. They would have had to raise their prices. They went with the MediaTek to be able to keep the prices where they were. I appreciate that as a consumer. And then as a user, I'm happy that there has been no noticeable fall off in performance. So that's all I want to say about performance. If you're someone who is in the market for this tablet and you're worried about that chip change, don't be. The performance has been really, really good. Let's talk about the display for a second, because there is one major change in the display that I do want to talk about because it has benefited me directly. And what I'm talking about is the anti-glare coating or whatever that they're using on the screen now. I don't have my Tab S9 anymore, so I can't really show you a direct comparison between the S9 and the S10, but I do happen to have my S23. And so even as I show this to the camera now, you guys can see just how much glare we're dealing with on this screen. And so if I hold up the Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra, you guys can see that while you still do see a reflection, the glare is way less glare. And why is that important? Because, as I told you guys, I do a lot of photo editing on this tablet. I do a lot of video editing. This thing's trolling me. When I don't have to worry about, glare and stuff like that, the angle that I'm holding the tablet at, I can get work done faster. I can get work done. I can get work done better. But most importantly, this anti-glare screen doesn't affect the screen at all. There's no loss in clarity. There's no loss in sort of color accuracy. The colors are still vibrant. The blacks are still black. And so it is a sharp and accurate screen that is still immersive, even with the anti-glare coating on it. So that's really important. The second thing that's really important to me that this tablet has been really great at is the battery life is pretty great. When I'm using it for all of those normal things, and like I said, I'm literally writing on this thing all day long. Notes at work, scripting when I'm working on videos, anything that I would otherwise use paper for editing my videos, for viewing content. When I'm using it regularly, I'm probably charging this thing every 2 to 3 days. Again, I would not consider myself a power user, so there's no reason for me to, charge it every day. And then when I'm not using it regularly, I will probably, charge it, once a week or something like that. The standby time is really good when it's just traveling with me in my backpack. So yeah, the battery life has been pretty insane, actually, I'll say. So if you're worried about that, you don't have to worry about it. Let's talk about the build quality, because there is a major red flag with this tablet that I have not experienced with my Tab S8, my Tab S9. I am someone who takes very good care of the screens in my life. The screen on my camera has a screen protector on it. I keep my phone regularly in the case to protect it from getting scratched, especially in the first year of life for my phones. I am someone who carries my tablet around in a protective case. It has a protective cover. And yet, there are 2 pretty substantial scratches on this screen. And so I do know that this tablet is using the latest Gorilla Glass Victus or whatever it is. I don't know which Gorilla Glass it is, but what I can say is that it scratched pretty early on, maybe a week or week and a half into having this brand new tablet. And again, it travels in a cover. It travels in a protective cover. I don't have a screen protector on the tablet, but it spends its life in a cover. And so for it to already have a scratch on it, to have had this scratch within a week, was pretty disappointing. So take that for what it's worth. Other than that, it is the same tablet that the S9 was, the S8 was. There's no cosmetic changes other than the anti-glare screen. So if you enjoyed those tablets, you will enjoy this tablet. And then it did get an IP68 rating. So if you're, taking a hot bath or something and you're like watching it and it falls in, you're going to be fine. If you're using it at the beach, I guess, you'll be fine with that dust and water resistant rating. So, and then the only other thing, I don't know if the other tablets had it or not, but I do know that this tablet has an optical fingerprint sensor instead of an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. I can't tell the difference. I know that I love the fingerprint sensor on my phone. The fingerprint sensor on this tablet is really good. There's no real difference to me, but some people care about those type of things, and so I should mention it. Let's talk about other things. AI is whatever. My kids enjoyed like the sketch to whatever AI feature on it for like 3 days, and then they don't ask about it anymore. I don't use any AI features because I am not interested at all in helping the machines take over. So that's not really something that I'm into. And plus, I hear that Samsung's going to start charging for AI next year or something like that. And so that's not really my thing. The cameras are cameras. I'm not someone who's walking around taking photos on my tablet. I don't make any sort of like calls or video calls or anything like that. So the cameras aren't really important to me. So I didn't do a lot of testing. But if you've used the cameras on the S8 or the S9, they're tablet cameras. The extra that I do want to spend time talking about, though, is the S Pen. And I know that people probably say, like, oh, I don't use the S Pen ever or whatever. Every day, as I said, I am taking notes on this tablet. My notes app is filled with notes that I've used. I am writing scripts on this tablet. And then all of my editing, all of my photo editing, I am using this S Pen to really, dial in to get those flyaway hairs. It's sort of like, a Wacom tablet for me in that way. And so I am using this S Pen every day. And I am really glad that Samsung still puts this S Pen in the box with this tablet for free. A lot of companies are doing away with a lot of things. The charging brick. I think even the iPhone now is not even coming with a USB cable. Is that right? Am I right about that? So a lot of companies are, taking things away, and Samsung's still giving away this S Pen for free, and I think that that's amazing. Yeah, and so I think that's it. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about as a normal, consumer who went out and bought an S10 Ultra. I think the biggest hit that Samsung took is that in changing this chip, any hiccup that I do sort of recognize, I do immediately think like, oh, I wonder if that's the chip. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. But other than that, other than the chip, other than that being in the back of my mind, I am still willing to say that this is probably the best iteration of this tablet that I've used. The anti-glare screen is really important to me. I like that, it seems faster when I'm editing photos and video. So yeah, do I think that you should go out and upgrade it if you have an S8 or an S9? I don't think so. I don't think that there's enough changes to be able to warrant that, unless you can get it for a really good deal, like I did, or or whatever, right? It's a really expensive tablet. It's $1,300. I got $750 off, so I'm paying something like $600 for it. But I think that's a decision that you'll have to make. Other than that, it's the same Samsung tablet, and so yeah, that's been my sort of experience with it. I hope that you found this video useful. But yeah, I think that's where I leave you. I'm Jamil. This is a boy named Jamil. Yeah, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.